Hello and welcome. I am Raziel. So I'm going to talk about why the Mega City 1 gangs are the best models to paint and to use for practice. Now, I think practicing different colour schemes and stuff like that is fantastic, and I do like the Mega City 1 gangs. So, when we talk about painting, we often talk about the single models, the one blister box, or, a special named character or HQ choice, and that's what people like. Well, when it comes to units, I often find painting units to be somewhat tiresome, and with that tiresome effort, because you're painting them all the same, and they're all the same colours, and they're all the same schemes, and they're usually all the same pose, if you go to certain companies, they can be quite dull and boring. So, like if you're painting orcs, you're going to be painting all the orcs the same colour. You could have 20 orcs and be 20 orcs all the same colour schemes, and that would be it. There might be some differences in the posing, or you might want to make one a little bit different coloured because they're the boss, etc. And that's the thing I find with units, and it's kind of the reason I'm really against horde armies. Horde armies, in my opinion, tend to be very boring to paint because you are literally painting hundreds of the exact same model and the exact same colours and everything else. So you're kind of getting good at one colour scheme. However, when it comes to other colours, you're going to start losing, not losing your edge or not getting quite enough practice on that. This is where the gangs of Mega City 1 models actually come into play. See, the gangs of Mega City 1 are absolutely brilliant. I think they're fantastic looking models and they do a great job. You have all different models. Every single model in the gangs box is different. There's no two replicas. They're all different, and that's an absolute bonus. So you have 10 unique models there, all for you to paint. I would say build, but most of them are single mold models, which, guys, I'm not a big fan of. I do like my building, of course. And so when it comes to these guys, you've got these 10 unique models, or 8 unique models. I'm painting the ones from the starter set, so I'm going to go with 8. And they're all different, and it's just so fun to paint one unit where every single model is absolutely unique and individual to the next one. Hair colours, schemes, hairstyles, clothing, weapons, etc. There's no two models the same, even their poses are all different. Now, when it really comes down to it, what is really the best part of the Mega City 1 gangs and their uniqueness within each model is that you can paint them all completely differently. As I said, with most unit boxes, there's a lot of uniformity. There's a lot of the same colour schemes, with very little, if any, variation between two models when it comes to painting. So you'll be able to paint that one particular colour scheme incredibly well. However, the rest, any other colour scheme, you might start struggling with. With the Mega City 1 models, the gang models, I should say, they have this fun uniqueness. Like I said, unique so many times, you should take a shot every time I've said it. And they have this fun individuality. Because if you read the comics, especially the newer ones, which they're all coloured, you'll know that within Judge Dredd, you have this massive dystopian future. Nothing's great, nothing's happy. The judges are judge, jury, and executioner. The law is basically what controls everyone. It's very dour, and they're all stuck in these mega cities where they really can't get out or do much. They're stuck in these massive hab blocks. It's not a very nice place to be. And what 2000 AD have done, which I think is absolutely wonderful, to contrast that and the judges in their dark black, slightly blue uniforms, they have the gangs. Now, the gangs are very vibrant in their colour schemes. They use a lot of garish colours. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce that word, garish, even though it's spelled like garnish without the N. Oh, the English language is so much fun when it comes to pronunciations, and I'm being very silly today, by the way. And you have lots of vibrant, garish colours. You don't have to paint, you don't even have to use the same colours on their clothing twice. You can basically just do all of them in completely different colours, and it will still look like it came from the comic, which makes them absolutely wonderful to paint, because now you can practice. Now, this is probably the meat and potatoes of this video, that you can use these to practice colour schemes on what works for you and how to highlight. Cloth's quite easy to highlight, and it's a good way to practice different colours and how to highlight them. And this is where the Gangs of Mega City 1 really shine. Because with this different colours, different schemes, etc., you can learn how and practice how to paint different colours. Let's say you're not very good at white. You want to practice doing some white. It's a good way to go because, you know, it's a nice colour and you can use it on these guys and learn and practice your white. Yellow, blues, greens, doesn't matter. And you can do them all different and have them all look absolutely wonderful with these different colour schemes. And that's just the clothing. See, we also have guns and belt buckles as well, and where they've detailed these models, they are well detailed, they're very wonderfully detailed, and the actual picking out of the detail is very simple. Most of them have goggles or glasses, so that's a good way to start getting more comfortable doing eyes, because you have larger eyes and you can practice on that. And you've got the belt buckles, and because they are quite outstanding, but not to a degree of being, you know, silly, they will of course have lots. They'll be easier to paint, and the washes do a good job on these as well. And then you've got the skin tones. Not every human looks the same, and everyone has different skin tones, so you get to practice different skin tones at the same time, and you can have a really good time trying different skin tones and how you'd like to have it turn out, and find a nice recipe for each skin tone that you like to use, and you can practice it on all the models. So you have this massive variety of skin tone, colour schemes, metals that you get to practice on these models. And that's what makes Mega City 1 Gangs the best models to practice on. And not only are they not overly expensive, they're not the most expensive ones, they are quite cheap, as most people know. If it's not Games Workshop, it tends to be cheap, or Star Wars Legions as well, that's quite expensive. However, but because of this variety and uniqueness and individuality of each unit, and the fact that the comic promotes lots of garish colours, you get to practice with lots of different colours. Some colours you might not have even thought about using in the past, which is, again, absolutely fun because you get to practice even more. And with different hairstyles and Mohicans, you can practice different hair colours and how that works, and learning all this through these models. And I think they're absolutely wonderful to practice on. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this awfully posh video today. I don't know why I put on this voice, because I was in a bit of a silly mood more than anything else. There is Wayland Games down below if you wish to save up to 20% off your wargaming. They do have Judge Dredd stuff there, and I would definitely recommend picking some of that up. It's absolutely fun, fantastic. The models are great to paint. With free delivery after £20. There is also Forbidden Planet for comics, DVDs, mangas, all that cool geeky stuff, especially with Judge Dredd. They have loads of those. There's my comics, my merchandise, there's Skyforge, and of course there's Patreon, because business. Bye bye.